The rain fell in thin, dirty lines over the city, turning the alleys behind the apartment blocks into rivers of gray water and discarded dreams. At 5 in the morning, when most people were still asleep, a garbage truck groaned to a stop near Building 47. Its back door opened with a metallic scream, and a small, hunched woman climbed down, her boots splashing into the puddles. She wore a faded orange vest, too big for her thin frame, and a headscarf pulled low over her face. No one paid her much attention. People rarely did. Garbage collectors were invisible, part of the background, like cracked pavement or flickering streetlights. But the woman was not who she seemed. Under the layers of cheap clothing, the crooked posture, and the tired shuffle was Viktor Sokolov, one of the richest men in the region. Owner of logistics companies, recycling plants, and half the waste management contracts in the city. A billionaire who lived in a gated mansion with a private lake and a security detail. And today, Viktor Sokolov had come to collect garbage for one reason only, to see who his daughter-in-law truly was. His son, Anton, had married 6 months ago. The wedding had been expensive, elegant, and widely discussed in business circles. Anton's wife, Marina, was beautiful, well-spoken, and seemed perfect on paper. She volunteered at charity galas, smiled sweetly at family dinners, and posted carefully curated photos online about kindness and gratitude. Yet something didn't sit right with Viktor. Too many small moments. A flicker of irritation when a waiter spilled water. A sharp tone with the housekeeper when she thought no one was listening. A habit of avoiding eye contact with staff. Anton insisted Viktor was imagining things. "She's just not used to your old-fashioned tests, father," he said. "Marina is a good person." Viktor said nothing. He simply planned. That morning, disguised as Valentina, a temporary garbage worker, Viktor pushed a metal bin toward the building entrance. His back ached. Real aching, not imagined. The smell was overpowering. For the first time in decades, he felt the physical weight of the work he owned but had never truly done. The building door opened. Marina stepped out, heels clicking sharply against the wet concrete. She wore a cream-colored coat and held her phone in one manicured hand. Her nose wrinkled as soon as she noticed the garbage collector blocking her path. "Excuse me," she said sharply. "Could you move that? You're in the way." Viktor lowered his head, affecting a shaky voice. "Sorry, miss, it's heavy." "Just a moment." Marina sighed loudly, glancing at her watch. "I'm late already. Honestly, why do they schedule this at rush hour?" She stepped around him, her coat brushing dangerously close to a leaking bag. She recoiled in disgust. "Be careful," she snapped. "That's filthy. Some people don't understand basic hygiene." Viktor felt something tighten in his chest. Still, he said nothing. As Marina walked away, her heel caught on a loose stone. She stumbled, nearly falling into a puddle. Her phone flew from her hand and landed face down in the dirty water. "Oh no," she cried. For a split second, panic crossed her face. Then anger. Viktor reacted instantly. He set the bin aside and rushed forward, slowly but earnestly, pulling a rag from his pocket. He picked up the phone with care and wiped it as best he could. "Here, miss," he said gently. "It still works." Marina stared at the phone, then at him, as if noticing his existence for the first time. She snatched it from his hand. "Do you know how expensive this is?" she hissed. "Your dirty hands. Honestly, just leave it." "I'm sorry," Viktor said quietly. "Are you hurt? You almost fell." She scoffed. "Worry about your trash. That's what you're paid for." She turned and walked away without another word. Viktor stood there in the rain long after she was gone. That alone told him much. But he wasn't finished. Over the next 2 weeks, Viktor continued his test. He rotated through buildings Marina frequented. Near her gym, her favorite cafe, the boutique street where she shopped. Always as Valentina, always quiet, always observant. At the cafe, Marina once complained loudly that the smell from outside ruined her appetite, glaring directly at Viktor through the window as he passed with a cart of bins. At the boutique, Marina waved a security guard over, pointing at Viktor. "Why is that woman standing so close to the entrance?" she said. "Customers shouldn't be subjected to this." But then came the 3rd week. It was colder. Viktor's hands were numb despite the gloves. As he dragged a heavy container across the sidewalk, his foot slipped. He fell hard, the bin tipping over and spilling garbage across the pavement. Pain shot through his side. This time, it wasn't acting. People passed by, some glanced, most didn't stop. Then a familiar voice cut through the noise. "Are you okay?" Victor looked up. It was Marina. She stood there, not dressed for an event or a photo shoot, just jeans, a sweater, her hair tied back. No phone in her hand. No audience. For a moment, Victor wondered if he had misjudged everything. Marina knelt down beside him, ignoring the trash. "You fell pretty badly," she said. "Can you move?" I think so," Victor murmured. She helped him sit up, her hands steady. She took off her scarf and wrapped it around his scraped arm. "You're bleeding," she said. "Why didn't anyone help?" Victor studied her face. There was no disgust now. Only concern. "I've seen you around," Marina continued. "You work every morning, right? My husband's father owns a waste company. I never realized how hard this job actually is." The words landed heavily. She waved at a passerby. "Can you call an ambulance, please?" Victor raised a hand weakly. "No ambulance, please. Just help me stand." Marina nodded and carefully helped him to his feet. She picked up scattered trash herself, placing it back into the bin. "You shouldn't be lifting this alone," she said. "Where's your supervisor?" "Not nearby," Victor replied. She reached into her bag and pulled out some cash, pressing it into his hand. "For lunch. And please, take care of yourself." Her eyes met his, and for the first time, she smiled, not the polished smile for cameras, but a soft, uncertain one. "I'm sorry," she added quietly, "if I've ever been rude. This city makes people forget each other." Victor felt something unexpected sting his eyes. That evening, the family gathered for dinner at Victor's mansion. Anton and Marina arrived together, laughing softly. Halfway through the meal, Victor cleared his throat. "I have something to show you," he said. The screens along the dining room wall flickered on. Footage played. Security recordings from the buildings, the cafe, the street. Marina's earlier reactions, her words, her dismissive gestures. Marina's face drained of color. I didn't know," she whispered. "I thought." Then the footage shifted. It showed the fall, her kneeling beside the garbage collector, her helping hands, her apology. The room was silent. Victor stood up and removed a folded scarf from his pocket, the same one Marina had wrapped around his arm. He placed it on the table. "Marina," he said calmly, "meet Valentina." Understanding crashed over her. Her eyes widened. You were." "Yes," Victor said. "I needed to know who you were when kindness had no reward." Tears filled Marina's eyes. "I failed at first," she said. "And I hate that I did." Victor nodded. "So did I. Many years ago. Wealth makes us forget what dignity looks like." He turned to Anton. "Your wife is not perfect. But she learned. And when it mattered, she chose compassion." Marina stood, her voice trembling but clear. "I promise you," she said, "I will never look past people again." Victor extended his hand. "Then welcome to this family." "Truly." Marina took it, holding on tightly. Outside, the city's garbage trucks continued their routes, unnoticed as always. But that night, one woman went home understanding that real worth isn't measured by status or cleanliness, only by how you treat those who can give you nothing in return.